4 million people, mostly an agricultural population scattered along the eastern seaboard. By 1850, the country had spread far to the westward and had a population of 23 million, the great majority of whom lived on farms. In recent years, the population has begun to shift to the urban centers. Even since 1930, there have been great changes in the population of the United States.
We live in a time of unprecedented population growth.
In 2015, the world has around 7.3 billion inhabitants. We have added 1 billion people since 2003 and 2 billion since 1990.
People born 60 years ago have seen the population of the world triple.
We happen to be alive at an incredible time in human history where the world's population is undergoing this massive transformation.
The word overpopulation gets thrown around quite a lot, but do you honestly understand what it means and what it implies? Here is the definition of the word. Overpopulation is an undesirable condition where the number of existing human population exceeds the carrying capacity of Earth. Now this is where it gets a bit twisted, because many people think that capacity of Earth simply means that the planet cannot contain all the people that live on it.
The demographic transition. Most developed countries have already made the transition, while other countries are doing it right now. Let's go back to the 18th century, when the entire world, including Europe, was in the first stage of the demographic transition. By today's standards, Europe was worse off than a developing region, suffering from poor sanitation, poor diets, and poor medicine. A lot of people were born, but lots of them died just as fast, so the population hardly grew. Women had between 4 and 6 children, but only 2 of them would reach adulthood. Then the Industrial Revolution happened in the UK and brought the greatest change in human living conditions since the Agricultural Revolution. People went from being peasants to workers. Manufactured goods were mass-produced and became widely available. The sciences flourished and advanced transportation, communication, and medicine. The role of women in society shifted and created the conditions for their emancipation. Slowly, this economic progress not only formed a middle class, but also raised standards of living and healthcare for the poor working population. The second transition stage started. Better food supplies, hygiene, and medicine meant people stopped dying all the time, especially so at a very young age. The result was a population explosion, doubling the UK's population between 1750 and 1850. The main reason families used to have lots of children was that only a few of them were likely to survive. Now that had changed, so the third stage of the transition was set in motion, fewer babies were conceived, and population growth slowed down. Eventually, a balance emerged. Fewer people were dying and fewer children were born, so the death rate and birth rate became stable. Britain had reached the fourth stage of the demographic transition. This didn't only happen in the UK. More and more countries went through the 4 stages. First, many births and many deaths due to bad living conditions. Second, better living conditions leading to fewer deaths and a population explosion. Third, fewer deaths resulting in fewer births, and population growth came to an end. But if birth rates have dropped so much, why is the population still growing so fast?
That's the literal definition, but not what it means to say. The capacity of Earth is rather meant to insinuate that the Earth is not able to support its population, as in the space and resources available cannot facilitate the population that we have right now. So because of that true definition, people think we don't have to worry about such a thing, because while our population is without a doubt growing, it couldn't possibly be growing at a rate that would cripple the planet, right? Wrong. Very much so wrong. So wrong that if not fixed by 2050, our world could be seriously screwed in all the ways that matter.